Everyone laughed when she ran. Her thighs would rub together, her cheeks puffed like soft pillows, and her arms swung like wings too heavy to fly. School was never about learning for Isha. It was about surviving. Surviving the stares, the whispers, the jokes that always began with, "No offense, but..." Isha had always been chubby. From her earliest memory, she knew her body wasn't like the others. She didn't fit in, not the desk chairs, not the friend circles, not the cheerleading team she once dreamed of joining. She would sit in the corner of the school cafeteria, slowly unwrapping her tiffin box, only to hide half of it under the table. When someone passed by, she knew they were watching, counting, judging. She'd smile awkwardly and pretend she was full. But hunger had become her only constant friend. The day that broke her wasn't loud. It was subtle, just another class picture. The teacher lined everyone up, tall to short, thin to thick. Isha stood in the far corner. She smiled when the camera clicked, but when the photos came back, the comments flooded in. "She looks like two people standing together. That's a wide-angle lens. She's like a walking beanbag." That night, she cried herself to sleep. Her pillow absorbed her sobs like it had many nights before. But this time, something inside her cracked. Not broken, cracked open. A voice whispered, "You are not just a body, you are becoming." The next morning, she didn't promise to get skinny. She promised something deeper, to take back her power. She didn't join a fancy gym. She didn't buy magic pills. She started by walking just 15 minutes, alone, in her oversized hoodie and track pants. Her heartbeat was loud, her breath even louder, but she walked anyway. Every single day, she learned to love water. She learned to say no, not just to junk food, but to people who fed her shame. She stopped calling herself names. Instead, she started whispering, "I'm trying." It wasn't about weight at first. It was about worth. For every drop of sweat, she gained a piece of herself back. Every early morning, every ignored craving, every stretch, every squat, they stitched her back together. Months passed. The girl who once hid behind baggy clothes was now jogging confidently in the park. People still stared, but for different reasons. Her transformation was visible. But what no one saw was the real change, her mindset. Isha didn't become a model. She didn't chase six-pack abs. She became herself, strong, unapologetic, glowing from inside out. She returned to her school reunion 3 years later, and they didn't recognize her. But that didn't matter. She hadn't come to prove anything. She had come to show herself how far she had come from that cafeteria corner. One of the old classmates, the same who had mocked her once, walked up and said, "Wow, what's your secret?" Isha smiled. "My secret? I stopped letting people like you decide who I could be." She walked away, proud, not just of the pounds lost, but the strength gained. Today, she's a fitness coach. Not because she wants to be admired, but because she wants to tell every chubby girl out there, you are not too much. You are just beginning. So if you're watching this with doubt in your heart, with pain in your past, and with a mirror you're scared to face, remember Isha. And remember this, the world will always label you, but only you can define yourself. Years pass, but Isha never forgot how it all started. Not in a gym, not in a diet plan, but in a moment of silent decision. A decision made with tears on a pillow and a heart full of quiet rebellion. Her transformation didn't just change her body. It rippled into every area of her life. She began waking up earlier, not because she had to, but because she wanted to greet the day before anyone could ruin it for her. She started journaling every thought, the pain, the hunger, the small wins. And every time she wanted to give up, she'd read her own words and remember how far she had come. She discovered her love for dance, not professional, not choreographed, just her in her room barefoot, sweating and smiling. Every movement was a celebration. Every drop of sweat was a badge of survival. Her family began to notice. Her mother, who once pushed her to eat more out of love, now sat beside her while they shared a bowl of fruit instead of fried snacks. Her younger brother, once embarrassed to walk with her, proudly told his friends, "That's my sister. She's strong." The change wasn't instant. There were setbacks. There were days when she binged again, nights when she hated herself for it, days she avoided mirrors and blamed her reflection. But she didn't stay down. She never stayed down. Each time she fell, she got up stronger, not because she was perfect, but because she had promised herself not to quit this time. She started helping others. At first, it was just her cousin, then a neighbor, then a friend of a friend. Before she realized it, she was leading small fitness sessions in her garage, not for profit, but for purpose. They didn't come for fitness alone. They came because Isha saw them, really saw them, beyond the weight, beyond the scars. She spoke to their wounds, not their waistlines. One day, she got a call from a school nearby, the same school that had once made her feel invisible. They were organizing a women's empowerment event and asked if she could be a guest speaker. Her hands trembled holding the phone, not from fear, but from pride. She stood on that stage weeks later, in front of hundreds of girls. Her voice didn't shake. Her back was straight. Her eyes fierce. "I was once the girl no one wanted in group photos," she began. "Now I'm in every picture because I showed up for myself. The applause didn't matter. What mattered were the tears in the eyes of a girl in the second row, the chubby girl, just like she had once been. That girl mouthed the words, 'Thank you.' And in that moment, Isha knew this was bigger than her. She went on to create her own YouTube channel, documenting her journey, sharing workouts, recipes, and most importantly, stories. Real stories. Stories of girls who wanted to believe they could change too. She didn't filter her stretch marks. She didn't hide her loose skin. She showed up real, raw, and radiant. Now, she gets messages daily. "You saved me. You made me believe again. I'm still chubby, but I've started walking." That last one, her favorite, because it reminded her the first step is everything. Isha is no longer just a fitness coach. She's a movement, a reminder that no matter what the world says, transformation is always possible. Not just physical, but emotional, mental, spiritual. She's not chasing skinny. She's chasing strength, inner peace, and the joy of finally feeling enough. To every girl who watches her story, who hides behind baggy clothes, avoids photos, cries in silence, she says this: you don't have to look like her, or them, or even me. You just have to become you, the best version, the one who doesn't give up, the one who tries again tomorrow, and the day after that, and again, because you were never just a body. You were always a fighter,